Hello everybody, and in today's video I decided that I'm going to try and attempt to be helpful to humanity, or somewhat helpful to people who wish to be better at FPS games. I don't know, maybe I have no authority to talk about such things because I'm not the greatest player in the world. I haven't played every FPS game known to man, although I have played a lot. But I just thought that I would compile a list or just general kind of tips that you can use in every FPS game. So everything that I'm going to be talking about is not just usable in COD, it's not just usable in Halo. I personally believe that you can use all of these tips to your advantage for every FPS game that you come across. And these are the things that I definitely had in mind when I played Titanfall for the first time. I was like, yep, I'm definitely going to be doing this. And I ended up doing like the best in the lobby. No, not bragging, just saying, just stating the facts, just trying to back up the legitimacy of my tip giving. Yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into some of the tips that I have for being better at FPS games. My number one tip, I guess I'm starting at number one, not working up, but there's actually no set number. It's not like the top 5 tips for FPS games. But anyway, I'm just blabbering right now. The number one thing that I think that you should keep in mind when playing every FPS game is to flank. Flank your little hiney off like you have never flanked before. Now, what I mean by flanking is that where you see your teammates, you go away from them, usually to the side. You do not go down the middle of the map. You try to avoid the middle of the map as much as possible unless you feel like you can get behind the enemy in the middle of the map. You try to always stick to the sides of the maps. You try and stay away from your teammates, and that is how you flank. Usually what you will do if you do stick to these general rules of sticking to the side and staying away from your team is you will come to the side of the enemy spawn, or you will catch the enemy off guard, because the main thing that I see a lot of new people do when they are new to FPS games is they go straight down the middle of the map. They're like, "Roar, I'm a roaring tiger, roar, roar, roar," and they just run straight down the middle and they end up getting completely owned. So you can use this to your advantage, as a lot of people are not that great at video games. I have noticed this. They're just not that great. So you can flank to the side and catch all of those baby deer elephant men running down the middle of the map, and you can shoot them, and you can improve your KD by shooting those baby elephants that are unsuspecting of your flanking ways. The next big tip that I have for all of you guys is to use your equipment properly. And now I see this happen in both new players and not new players. They just don't seem to really know how to properly use the equipment that they have. Now, the equipment that you have in each FPS game is to make your life a little bit easier, or to make that one kill a little bit easier for you to pick up, or for you to be able to run into a room, throw a concussion grenade, and have a much better chance of taking out everyone in that room before they turn on you. Equipment is your friend, and learning how to use it properly is very important. Now, I can't go into specific details because every FPS is really different when it comes to equipment, but a general rule that I really like to stick to is try to use your grenades, concussion grenades, whatever it is that you have in your arsenal, as a way of finding where the enemy is. So a lot of the time, I will use concussion grenades as an example. A lot of the time, I will throw a concussion grenade in the direction that I'm not really planning on going, but I throw it over there to see if anyone is over there. Obviously, if you get a hit marker, it shows that there is an enemy person in that direction. So if I get a hit marker, then I'm like, okay, I'll go over there because there's an enemy over there. But usually I will throw it in the direction that I don't plan on running, so it kind of shuts down that route so no one can come and flank me, and I know that I'm pretty much safe to go in the direction that I was pre-planning on taking. Now, like I said, each FPS does tend to vary quite a lot in the equipment that they give you, but most FPS games will give you a grenade as your lethal equipment. The tactical stuff tends to be really different when it comes to different FPS games, but usually you will have the option of having a grenade. So I would do that exact same thing that I just told you guys about with the grenade, throw it in the direction that I don't plan on going. If it hits somebody, well, they're just gonna get blown up, and that's great. If it doesn't hit anyone, then I know that I'm safe to continue without the worry of being flanked. The next big tip that I have for you guys is to adjust your loadout to fit your playstyle and to make you comfortable. And do not be influenced by other people that are saying, oh, that's newbie. You are not allowed to use that. That is for noobs. You're bad if you use that. If whatever it is that you're using, the gun, the attachment, the perk, the equipment, suits your playstyle and you're comfortable using it, go ahead and use it. If you like using an ACOG on the freaking Type 25, go for it, man. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna judge you if that works for you and you end up doing a good job with that. Go ahead and do that. Don't let other people influence you. So I will use myself as an example for this. I consider myself a flanker. I don't really like to rush at the enemy head on and take them on like that. I prefer to flank them and catch people off guard. I spend a lot of time in the enemy spawn catching people when they're not suspecting me on being there. So things that really work for me are things that turn me into a ninja, like ghosts and suppresses and things of that nature. Now maybe you're someone that likes to camp. I'm not gonna judge you for camping. I don't enjoy fighting, you guys, but that's how you like to play, and you're entitled to play the way that you want to play. Maybe you like to camp, so having stuff like a claymore or a shock charge. Of course I'm using Call of Duty as a reference right now, but you guys know what I'm saying. Use equipment, use your perks that make sense for your playstyle. It's incredibly important. I see people try to copy what their favorite YouTuber is using or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with trying it out, but maybe that person's playstyle is not the same as yours. So you could be doing a lot better if you just sit down, evaluate how you like to play the game, what your playstyle is, and what equipment, perks, kill streaks, whatever it may be, will be best to suit your style. Now the last tip that I have for you guys is to adopt the advanced techniques of the FPS that you're playing. Most games will have an advanced technique. For example, Call of Duty, drop shotting, jump shotting. Halo, jump shotting. Crysis, jump shotting. Titanfall, jump shotting. Most games have jump shotting in it. Adopt those advanced techniques. Get used to using them. When you get into a game, figure out what those advanced techniques are, because they will help you reign victorious on the battlefield. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful, and I will speak to you guys later. Bye.